From pillar to post, it's Wrestling Perspective. Myself, Dennis Farrell, alongside Russ McCall. What's up, good friend?
Not much, man. Ready to get the show rolling? You ready for Money in the Bank?
We got a lot to get to. It is Money in the Bank weekend. We're going to do our prediction show, preview show. Any more other shows that start with a P, we're right there, man. Right there.
Prime time.
That's right. We want to wish Ric Flair good health before we went on. The internet said he was rushed to the hospital, which means he was probably driving really fast at that point.
Probably him doing it. Yeah.
He's probably a little bit Ric Flairish, little pedal to the middle-ish, but we make these jokes because Conrad Thompson came out and basically said he was not rushed to the hospital. Yes?
Then he was fine. Yeah, he's fine. It was just a routine procedure he's had scheduled.
You know what? All In's coming up or whatever, double or nothing. You call it All In still. He's probably just getting some of these pipes cleared out so he can drink and eat red meat all weekend long.
The guy is, cats have 9 lives. I don't know what kind of special species he is, man, but he's exhausted a litter of cats' lives at this point, and still kicking. He's going to outlive us, let's be honest.
A little inside baseball here. As we do the radio show today, heard on over 100 radio markets all over the United States, we are also being recorded for the first time for us, so this is different for us.
Yeah.
Ringside app. You can go there. It's a great wrestling community. Lots of videos, pay-per-views, shows from guys like Josh Matthews to not Taz. I don't even know why I said Taz. Santino. But, sure, why not? Maybe Taz. Anyways, go there. We have our own channel, so you'll be able to hear Russ and myself do the radio show. You'll actually see us now do the radio show. You'll be able to hear episodes past and present of Wrestling Perspective. And we'll be in the chat rooms chatting randomly. So come be a part of that great community. It's a good app. We don't get paid, by the way. We found them. They're upstart, and we wanted to help them out. So here we are.
Great chance to get down on the ground level and do something cool for everybody.
This show is sponsored by BlueChew.com. Go to BlueChew.com. Use the promo code Perspective. Get your first order for free. Just pay $5 shipping and handling. Listen, let's say you're on camera. And you'll appreciate this, Russ, because at the beginning of the last episode, I told PD, I said, your Canadian Destroyer is not what it used to be. You don't have that spring in your step, but go to BlueChew.com. It will help you get that spring in your step in the bedroom, if you know what I mean. It helps keep the show rolling on the air, and that's where we want to be. So when we come back from break, we are going to jump in to Money in the Bank predictions.
Yeah, it's going to be, all their shows are big, so let's do it.
All right, Wrestling Perspective, Russ McCall, Dennis Farrell. We'll be right back. We're back here at the Wrestling Perspective. Russ McCall, Dennis Farrell. Don't forget BlueChew.com. Use the promo code Perspective. It keeps us on the radio. Everybody's happy. Once we did something cool. If you go to whatforapparel.com/WPP, we sell our shirts there, guys. And PD and myself and Russ, we sat down and we made a decision that, sure, we make a good little bit from profit from the shirts, but we wanted to give back to the community. So we decided that we were going to pick a charity, and it's called Rainbow Connection. And the best way I can describe Rainbow Connection is think Make-A-Wish, but on a super smaller scale. We could easily donate, 20, 40, 60, 100, whatever bucks a month. And you put it to Make-A-Wish, and not that they don't do a good job, but it's like putting water in a 30,000-gallon pool, like a drop.
Yeah.
They're
funded all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. So we wanted our dollar, our cents, to go a little bit further than it would. Not that they don't need it, but Make-A-Wish, they're big business now. They're big time. They've got companies giving them millions. Rainbow Connection does not. They do the same thing on a smaller scale, all voluntary, and we've decided that every month we're giving our profits for our shirts to Rainbow Connection to help kids' dreams come true. That may not, like there's Major Leagues, Make-A-Wish, but some kids fall through the cracks, and Make-A-Wish can't help everybody, and that's where Rainbow Connection comes in.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great charity. It's something that's dear to each and every one of us on the group. So I think it's a great thing, and if you wanted to help support it, buy a shirt. We're giving the entire proceeds. So.
Yep. Go to whatforapparel.com/WPP. Buy a shirt. Tell us you bought one. We'll give you a shout out on the radio show and the podcast. And, we make the donation in our fans' name. So
yep.
Now let's get on to a little bit of Money in the Bank.
Let's do it.
So before we talk matches, overall feel going into this pay-per-view excitement level.
2 out of 10. If I'm honest.
You know what? Normally I would agree, and not that the card or they've done a great job, but I've always liked Money in the Bank. I've liked the match more than anything, and I really would have liked the match if it was just on another pay-per-view, not its own pay-per-view. I'm not a big fan of calling a pay-per-view Money in the Bank after one match, and only, now it's two. But in the past it was only one match. It was like Hell in a Cell. You had one Hell in a Cell match, but everything else was not a Hell in a Cell match. So I did not appreciate that.
I don't like the pay-per-views that are named after matches. I think it takes away from the specialness of being able to use that match at the right time, in the right moment in a feud or in the right setting. Money in the Bank is obviously a little different because it can be used as a yearly thing. But even then, I don't necessarily know that it's the right... It should be a highlight of something, not the show itself.
I absolutely agree with you. You take away, because unless every match is a Money in the Bank match, and you can't do that, maybe you could get away with that in Hell in a Cell, but after match number 5, nobody cares.
Yeah, no. It's like when TNA did the initial lockdown, and every match is in a cage. You got 8 matches at the show. By the time the third match comes around, it's like, yeah, got this cage thing down. I'm good with it.
We understand.
Yeah.
So but I love the concept of Money in the Bank, which was created by Chris Jericho. I love that concept of you have one prize, 8 people fighting for it. So many cool things can happen.
And I really liked it in the beginning when it first came out. As time has gone on and we've had years and years and years of doing it, the match and the effect has kind of worn off on me some. Like I've seen a lot of them, and I've seen just about every spot that makes sense done. So I don't know. I just kind of like the high spot matches where everyone's jumping and falling and flying. So it's cool for a minute, and it's great at an indie show. It loses its appeal to me. There's no story to the match. I have a hard time connecting anymore.
I still will enjoy it for those high spots, which I'm not a high flying guy. You know that.
Yeah.
But I still like it. Thank you. At my advancing age in weight. But I still like the match for what it is. I still appreciate it. I'm hoping now that we get some cooler storylines coming out of it. We've seen it all. I'm glad that we've only had one guy cash it in at WrestleMania, Seth Rollins.
Yep.
As much as I would love to see it every time, because he did such a great job with that, it gives me high hopes. But
didn't they do a second one?
I don't think...
No.
Did they?
Was it
a girl?
The night Kane won his. Didn't he cash in?
I don't know, because I thought there was
only
only
like the ECW
one
title or something. I don't remember. Maybe it was Rey Mysterio.
Maybe that's how they get away with explaining it, that it was the ECW.
One main event. Yeah,
but only one
I could be
championship cash in for the WWE championship.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up. I'm curious, because I thought Kane cashed one in that night.
And maybe so. That might, and they did a great job of swerving us, because Seth Rollins lost his match earlier that day. I think it was match number 1,
which is kind of their pattern now.
Yeah,
admittingly.
But I would never have guessed that he would have cashed in at WrestleMania.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So there we go. Let's start with the way it is on the website. We have no way of, no real. And this probably, I don't know if this is the card. Match number 1, Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans for the
Raw title.
For the Raw Women's Championship.
I think Becky Lynch retains on that one. I think she's going to be the linchpin of the Raw division at the end of the day, and I think that you can have a kind of a wonky finish or something where Lacey puts up a good show, and it gives her a nice challenger for down the road.
No, I agree with you. I'm going with Becky on this one, and I think you're going to see Becky win a couple of these pay-per-views where she wins both of her matches. Yep. And then she's going to get injured in the first match of one of these pay-per-views.
Yes.
And then that's going to be how they split these belts up, if they go that route, which...
I think you're right. And I think that kind of ties into the SmackDown title against Charlotte. I think this time around, I think Becky wins both of them. They just started this Becky 2 belts thing. I don't see them getting rid of it anytime soon.
And they've done crazier things, but she's the hottest women's wrestler right now.
Yeah.
I can't see them taking it off of her.
I don't think so. I think they need to build that for a few months before they do it. But I like your idea when the time comes.
Right. Oh, absolutely. But I think for the next couple pay-per-views, we're going to see them build her up. And then it's going to be an injury is how they get one of them. But we both agree Becky Lynch takes out Lacey Evans at match number 1. Match number 2, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the WWE Universal Championship.
The match itself, I'm excited for. I think those two will be a heck of a match, and they'll really put it down. I think Seth just got the belt. AJ just got on the brand. I think Seth right now is the hotter of the two acts. Even though I enjoy AJ more, Seth's the hotter of the two acts, I think, still. So I'm going to say Seth retains.
I agree. Are they both coming in as faces? Because I've seen a little bit of heelish tendencies from AJ, but I don't know if they're fully going that way with them or not.
I don't know. I don't think they're fully going with it. I think it's just to add that little bit of intrigue because if somebody doesn't,
somebody has to be a little bit of the attitude.
Somebody's got to give a little bit of attitude in order to keep some kind of argument or feud going. I think AJ's the pick because Seth's going to be staying strong as the lead champion.
You know what? I totally agree. I think this could have match of the night implications all over it. They both are high flyers, can go. Probably the most talented two matched up on this whole card.
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, if we're completely legit, I think it's probably the most talented two guys on the entire roster.
Yeah, you know what? I can't argue with that.
Between longevity, character, ability, yeah, I think it's the most talented two guys on the entire roster. So I'm surprised they're using it on Money in the Bank.
Before we get to probably after the next commercial break, the first Money in the Bank match. What happens to the loser of this match? Do they stay in the title picture or do they fall out?
No, I think you fall it out. Because you've got a face-face scenario, I think this is the kind of night where you're going to see Monday night, a personal grudge starts up. And that's the kind of the natural transition. The personal grudge means more than the title, so I'm going to pull away to make room for somebody else.
Rollins, we both say wins it. No contest, maybe. I can see something happening.
Well, I think if they were going to continue the feud, then I could make that sense. But I think Rollins is winning, so I think it's...
And, they have been teasing an AJ Styles heel turn. So I'm wondering if AJ does something to get himself disqualified in anger, and this will bring him back to being a heel. Not that I love or hated heel AJ. I don't think I care either way.
I think babyface AJ is just much more natural.
Mm-hmm. Unless you put him up with the Good Brothers.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, then that's great.
And
then
I can't believe they haven't done it this.
No. I mean, and I don't think they're going to.
The money they have lost in merch alone is mind-blowing, and they know it. I don't know why they don't.
I'm sure they do.
All right, when we come back on Wrestling Perspective, we are going to get to more Money in the Bank. If you miss this, go to WrestlingPerspectivePodcast.com. We'll be right back. We're back, Wrestling Perspective. As you know, we are doing the video for the Ringside Wrestling app. Go over to Ringside Wrestling. Great app. There are 3 or 4 different sections. There's old school wrestling. There's indie wrestling where they're showing indie matches. There's all kinds of stuff. And there's chat rooms so you can connect with other wrestling fans.
Yeah, it's exciting. It'll be a fun app to grow with as we keep it moving.
And little inside baseball. We like to have transparency.
Yeah.
We have been talking about, do we want to stay on radio because it's expensive. It's not cheap. The Blue Chew money is great. So we've talked about do we keep going on the radio? Do we go independent? But I feel like if we don't do radio, then we will go exclusively for Ringside app.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move.
But we're still months away from making that decision. Yeah. But as we go, we will talk to you, the fans. Hopefully, you guys will say, "Oh no, don't go."
Give us some ideas. Yeah, give us what you think. Because where are you listening to us at or watching us at? Let us know.
If you hear us sometimes on the radio and then you go and listen to Pie, I'm not going to pay money.
No.
As our employers are like, what are they doing? Yeah. So let's get back to the
kayfabing this whole business deal here.
First Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Ali. Which why do they have to keep? Are we going to start calling him Finn soon?
They cut him down a little while ago.
Yeah.
A month or so ago.
Still, I don't like it.
No, I don't like it either. But
Andrade, another guy who's been,
we can't have a full name. Yeah.
And Randy Orton. Now, you look at this. You look at this, and I can
Which
see.
one's not like the other?
Well, Sami Zayn won't win.
No.
Corbin won't win.
I wouldn't be so fast to rule that out.
I get the
I don't
push.
think he's I don't think he's going to win.
But I get the push that they're giving, but I think that's more of those, you look in this hand and look what we're giving you. Another mediocre Baron Corbin Money in the But the way they took it from him a couple years ago makes me think.
I don't know. Like, I would like to think it's the look at the turd in this hand, and so appreciate the rock we're giving you rather than the gold. But they might just hand you the turd. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not ruling it out.
Who is your guess? Let's go through, because I think Zayn won't win.
No.
I kind of don't think Baron Corbin will. I don't think Ali will. I think Andrade doesn't have a chance, and maybe Randy Orton's on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think at the end of the day, to me, Drew McIntyre is the guy.
Yeah.
Right? I think Ricochet's got an outside chance. I think it's a little early still for him to be getting a spot like that. But I do think it's a good spot to shine a spotlight on him.
I do too. And this is it.
This is the right spot. His match. Yeah, it'll be his match, and he'll be the highlight of the match. But I think at the end of the day, Drew McIntyre is the way to go.
I agree. And that's who I want to see win it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if they give Finn Balor the Money in the Bank and the Intercontinental Championship at the same time either.
Interesting. Yeah. I honestly, I completely forgot that Balor was in the match. Even I don't know if you listed him off, but
I did.
No, then I forgot immediately.
I was even talking about how they may shorten his name to Finn. Remember 30 seconds of the show where I said that?
Well, whatever. It is what it is.
It was a bad joke. I can
Gold
get
Mets. It's fine. Yep. But I don't think Finn's going to be the guy to take it in right yet. But
how many years has it been since we've gotten a real dramatic Intercontinental Championship versus WWE champion?
It's been a while, but
it won't work in today's age.
No,
because
it's not time yet. You've got Kofi, who's still strong babyface. They're going to keep that for a little while, I'm sure. You're going to need a heel champion in order to really pull that off just right. And that's why I think Drew McIntyre is the way to go, because Drew is a physical threat. Mm-hmm. He's a menacing prospect, and he's believable that he could win the title in a regular match because of his size, his demeanor, and all that, right? His character build. You put that anytime he wants, whenever he wants, however he wants on top of it. It seems like a real menacing threat looming over that title. And I think that's a nice sell point.
Going back to the Intercontinental Champion versus WWE Championship, I don't think it would work in today's climate of wrestling, because back in the day when it really meant something, the Intercontinental Champion, when you held it, meant you were the number one contender.
Yeah, the belt doesn't mean the same anymore.
Now it's the TV champion. The Intercontinental Champion is subpar, wonky.
It's a costume part.
It's no better. This is how sad it makes me feel. When you see the brand splits happen, there's the Universal and the WWE Champion, right? Then it's like the United States and the Intercontinental Champion. And throughout the history, the Intercontinental Champion was like one of the second greatest champions, but not counting the big gold belt and all that stuff.
Yep.
But when you were talking about the lower tier, it was the Intercontinental Champion and then everything else.
Yeah. It has. Let's be honest, it hasn't had that luster in 25 years.
No.
It just shows how old we are, and when the product was at its best, that it actually meant something. Was
for giggles here, I'm going to go with Finn for winning.
Oh, okay.
Just because I deep down I'm with you, where I think McIntyre has been positioned well.
Yeah,
they've gotten Braun Strowman out of the picture, which depending on whether you read the dirt sheets or not, he deserves it, doesn't deserve it.
He's injured again, isn't he? Didn't I hear?
I don't know, because I heard he missed another meeting also.
Oh.
And that's why he's been...
Because he's out, and then they moved Alexa Bliss out. Did you see that as well?
I did not see
she is
Bliss.
Out as well, as of today.
Oh.
She is out. She is not medically cleared again. So that's sketchy for her, man, because she just got cleared.
Right.
After quite a long absence on the shelf.
What was this? This is like number 2, because didn't she come back once before for a match after her injury and wrestled once and then disappeared back from.
I think it was. Yeah, she's.
Yeah,
it's not looking good for her, which is sad because she's a phenomenal talent and a great act. So
I agree.
But in the ring, this stuff that they're doing in the talk show thing just isn't really highlighting her the way it should.
No, but you got to have her on TV somehow.
Yeah.
That's I always said why doesn't these wrestling organizations take more advantage of their injured wrestlers and use them
to do this stuff?
Yes.
Well, and using the injured wrestler to do it rather than someone who's actively going to fight that night.
I agree. You can do talk show segments. You could even do storylines as they're injured and still just have them hanging around.
Oh, absolutely. They can be, prepping somebody up and backgrounding somebody to get them prepared for the big fight.
I agree.
And be a great use of them.
Let's move on to the women's Money in the Bank championship match. Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Amber Moon, Carmella, and TBA to be announced.
Well, it's Nikki Cross.
Is it?
It is. Yep.
All right. So on paper, none of these women should probably have won this.
Nope.
But I'm going to go first. I gave you the first shot.
Tell me what you think.
I think it's going to be Ember Moon.
Really? Yeah, it's not a bad pick.
Now, let's go down the list. Natalya, phenomenal at helping bring the next person up.
A phenomenal hand.
Yes. Not
a top act.
Not a top act. And the winner of this is going to be highlighted all year long unless you're Baron Corbin, then you lose it in an embarrassing way.
Or you win again the second time, and
boy, what a story that would be. By the way, what a story! If we're
don't give them any ideas.
So are you changing it because you keep
do not give them any ideas?
Yes, because they're listening.
I'm fearful that they would do something like that.
Well, I mean, they do listen every week.
Yeah,
they're the only ones.
Yeah.
So Dana Brooke, no chance. But she looks phenomenal right now.
She does, and they gave her a nice little spotlight this past week.
She has, since the death of her boyfriend, which was traumatic, she has come out and looked leaner. Her mic work, although they're not highlighting her, and I don't push that on her, I don't think she would be an amazing indie worker, an amazing talent at like an MLW, AEW, somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't think she fits the WWE branding, in my opinion.
Not really, because she's somewhere in the middle of that Beth Phoenix kind of style, but she's still smaller like the other girls. So
she's still finding an identity. Mix. As weird as that says, 5-6 years later.
No, but it's true. Like I just saw something not long ago on one of the dirt sheets. It was from one of the writers that said that she's the hardest working woman they have. She's at the Performance Center every single day when she's not on the road, and she's constantly coming up with ideas and ways to get better and doing things. And the writers notice, and they pitch stuff for her, and it just gets shot down by the top.
I did not hate the role they put her in with Titus, where she was essentially
Alexander York.
Yes, that's exact. And I really thought that could have been cool if they would have done better with it.
I did too. I liked that actually.
But so be it. It fizzles out. But the Dana Brooke has no chance. Naomi,
I'm over it.
Yeah, she's been delegated to the mid card. I hate to say it like that.
She's an okay act. I mean,
same thing with Bayley, by the way.
She feels her role. That's fine.
Whatever we say about Naomi, just say ditto about Bayley so we can save some radio time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because Bayley does not scream championship material.
No.
Let's see here. Mandy Rose, phenomenal looking, getting better, not there yet.
Agreed.
Yep. Ember Moon out of and whoever, I don't know who to be announced is. Okay, that could be a game changer, and we all go, whoa. I wouldn't be shocked.
Nikki Cross.
Oh, that's right. See how easy it is. Yeah. I forgot. Well, 1-1, but I don't see Nikki Cross there yet as they're tinkering with her character. Carmella, I could see getting it because she's been a good hand and has been up there before.
I hope not, but. Yeah,
but Ember Moon, I think for me,
I think Ember Moon is probably the most likely candidate. Mm-hmm. At the same time, though, for the sake of being a little different again, I could see this being a transition point with Bayley and using the Money in the Bank and her cashing in a cheap way to add a new dimension to her character.
That's pretty interesting. We will definitely talk more about that when we come back from break because that adds a little. Now I got to carry this over.
Yeah.
But before we go to break, don't forget Wrestling Perspective Podcast. Go to WrestlingPerspectivePodcast.com. You can get the radio show commercial free. You can get myself and PD Williams, the ringside wrestling stuff. Everything we do, we're there. We have a one-on-one interview with Josh Matthews, which was very good. So Wrestling Perspective. That's all I can say. Wherever you get your podcasts, that's where we are. BlueChew.com. Use the promo code Perspective. Russ McCall, Dennis Farrell. We'll be right back. Wrestling Perspective, we are back. Russ McCall, Dennis Farrell, presented by BlueChew.com. Use the promo code BlueChew. Get your first order free. Keeps us on the radio. WhatForApparel.com/WPP. Rainbow Connection. We do not take any more profits from here on out. It's not a week. It's not a month. It's not even this year. For as long as we sell shirts, we're giving our portion of the proceeds to a charity, rainbowconnection.org. And we're giving it to them in the fans of Wrestling Perspective name, not ours. It's not like, you guys spend the money and that'd be like, look at me, I'm a hero delivering a check for $4.
Yeah, no. No, it's in your name.
It's in your name.
Mark it as a donation from you.
Ringside Wrestling app. Go to Ringside Wrestling app. That is a pretty cool app. I'm a big fan. We're working with them now.
You can be watching us right now, or watch it back and see us again.
Yeah. Or if you don't want to watch us, go to WrestlingPerspectivePodcast.com and subscribe. Perfect. Like that.
I do. I love it.
Oh, by the way, Fightful.com. I don't know if you've seen this, but Fightful gets the podcast a day early now. So go to Fightful.com. They've been breaking news for 3 years. They have dozens of podcasts behind their paywall. A phenomenal Sean Ross Sapp. You've heard on the radio show once before you came in, Russ.
Yep.
Phenomenal guy. Fightful is one of the biggest news sites out there. And the deal is we will give them our show one day early. Not the radio show, but PD and myself.
Yep.
So go to Fightful.com. Become a fan of theirs like we are. I can't talk about enough that I'm that big of a fan.
No, it's a great site. If you're not checking it out and really reading it, at least checking it once a day, you're probably missing out on some pretty
great
good stuff.
news. And it's not rumors; it's news. Yes.
You're not getting maybe it might. I heard it could be.
No,
it's stuff that's legit. And,
very confirmed.
It's already confirmed. Yeah.
Yes. Let's move back to Bayley here.
Yeah.
You brought up a good point of her essentially turning heel if she were to win.
Yeah. You give her the money in the bank, and you're looking at a scenario where she can cash in anytime she wants, right? Her character's stale. It's bore out.
Horrible.
It's borne out.
Sasha, by the way, I don't care what people on the internet says. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
Most selfish wrestler out there right now. When you take your ball and go home, I get you.
She hurt her friend a lot. To be honest.
She destroyed Bayley's reputation right now. You can see it right now.
Yeah.
With her, she's wallowing in mediocrity.
Bayley's a solid in-ring competitor, and she had good legs with her under NXT, and I think she's got the ability to do something cool, and a real dastardly heel side could be something really fun to watch with her. And you could, with Becky having both belts right now, you've got an opportunity to really capitalize on that too, because Becky, even what you said earlier, injured, lose, right? She could win both matches, worn out after her second match,
and cash in.
And then Bayley cashes in.
I like that.
And
that would be a heel move.
That's a big heel move.
Absolutely.
And a cheap shot. And then she can celebrate however, they want to take the character. But that gives it, Ember's got an opportunity to be elevated. But Ember could also, I think, has a good chance to be elevated in the match in general because she's probably the most athletic person in that match.
Storyline-wise, I think you're right. Becky would be the most beneficial.
Yep.
But Ember, I think she's the most deserving right now.
Sure. Ember had some great stuff in NXT. I think she's the most athletic, but I'm leaning more towards that she's going to be in that Ricochet role. She's going to shine in that match and really look good and come out looking like a top star. And she's going to be somebody that can be elevated to go after a Charlotte and get herself built up. And they can build to be a challenger to Bayley at some point on the SmackDown brand.
No, I absolutely agree, and I wouldn't mind seeing it. But back to my Sasha Banks thing, some people think my point is so
harsh on her.
Yeah, because she's standing up for what she believes in. She was badly booked, but you know what? You don't see Chris Evans, Captain America, go, you know what? I'm not doing this movie anymore. I don't like the way you wrote this scene. I'm done. And that's essentially what they are. They are paid actors.
Sure.
They are paid actors.
No, I don't disagree with you on that. I think
it's selfish, and I will never support Sasha Banks again. Not that I did to begin with, by the way, but for what she's doing
says
now.
the 5 T-shirts in your closet.
Hey,
okay,
there are 4 my daughter. I bought them all extra large,
extra large,
so she can grow into them when she
Yes.
gets my age. And it's by my Mariah Carey rainbow T-shirt, by the way.
Yeah, well,
But
it was.
But
I
no,
used it.
and I can't believe the people that are supporting her right now. She walked out on the company, on her employees and her fans.
Well, I think WWE's got such a bad rap right now in general that people are more supporting the not in favor of WWE than really looking at the situation with her specifically. Because I think you're right. When it comes to her specifically, if you're not happy, that's fine. Then you do what Dean Ambrose or John Moxley just did, and you wait for your contract to expire.
That's exactly. You do it right.
And you leave.
Yep.
When you're done. Okay. You didn't want to do it. That's fine. I'm going to do whatever you wanted right up to the day I walk out the door. And from that point, I'm going to go somewhere else where I feel like I'll be treated better. Just like any of us would do. If you didn't like your job, you couldn't just sit there and not.
Well, I could.
Well, you did.
I'm the exception to the rule.
Yeah. Okay, I couldn't just sit there and do absolutely nothing all day. Okay.
I love this point because
and keep my job. Like,
Yeah.
I would have to wait till I need to work through the school year and then switch.
Right.
I can't just be like, it's May. I'm tired of this. That's it. And just stop.
I can't.
Yeah, and have. Listen, Sasha.
But yeah,
Mr. Banks.
Don't do that.
That's the new name, Mr. Banks.
So, but it screams back when we get back to Money in Bank here.
Yeah.
Bailey is in the ring working. And if you believe the reports that she was on the floor moaning and wailing,
I think so. I think they're consoling her friend is probably more likely.
Maybe not. I don't know.
But
if you believe those reports,
she got over it, went back to work.
That's right, and that screams. She understands it.
Yeah,
she knows that
you can be upset. That's okay.
You can leave too once you know. Here, once you have that WWE name, I'm going to give you a secret, and not you personally, because you know this.
Yeah.
Most wrestlers, they don't want to get to the WWE to spend 10, 15 years there. They want to get to the WWE, do their 3 years, go back to the indies, and upcharge every indie company so they can have that indie money.
Yeah.
That's
right now, that's where it's at.
That's what it is. And that's what most of these wrestlers want to do.
Yeah, it ups their name value. Then they get the creative freedom to go back out and do their art form and their craft.
And that's why you see a lot of these guys,
cash.
like Luke Harper wants his release, so he can wrestle every weekend and make some pretty good money.
Well, that's it. I mean, because here's the thing. Like we said, whether it's the Revival, Luke Harper, Gallows and Anderson, there's the list is starting to grow, actually, of guys that want out. But they're all doing what they're asked to do in the meantime. Look at the Revival.
Yep, exactly. I know. All right, back to the sync, by the way. Who are you choosing for the women's Money in the Bank?
I'm going to go Bailey.
Bailey, okay. Yeah. And I'm going Ember Moon. Roman Reigns versus Elias in a match that no one cares about. Roman Reigns.
Yeah, Roman Reigns will win.
Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. Now, this is interesting because I think Becky wins. But, boy, it really hurts Charlotte if she has another loss. And there's got to be something there to help get Charlotte either over or not over. This is where that injury angle I was talking about earlier may come into play if they felt like they had to get the belts off.
Is this, I do think Becky retains both, and goes on a little further. I think they can do something with it. But if you want to preserve Charlotte, is this the night you have Bailey cash in right at the end of the match?
And whoever wins, I would love to see that because it seems like it's been forever since we've seen a same night cash in.
Yeah, because I think it would.
I don't know. Have we even ever seen a same night cash in?
I thought that's what I'm talking about with Kane. Kane. Wasn't that at Mania?
No, that was a different pay per view because I don't think there was a Money in the Bank at Mania.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But
I do remember, and it was against Edge or something. Right?
No. Was it Mysterio or Chavo? Chavo Guerrero, or I don't know. He won. I don't know. Whatever. But he's won some matches.
Either way, here's what I don't want to see happen. I don't want to see, and watch for the spot. you'll see Becky do something and be like, oh no, she re-aggravated her knee.
Yeah.
And then through the whole match, she limps. And
Well, I think you're going to see that anyway, because that's the story with the
That's what they
Dre.
did. For how long did they do that for Seth Rollins? And finally, I quit caring.
They're going to do it again.
Oh,
they're going to do it again with Becky. They milked that thing with the figure 8 to try to make her to give Charlotte that advantage.
So you're going Becky. I'm going Becky here
Yeah.
too. But I'd love to see Charlotte win. I like Hill Charlotte.
Yeah, Hail Charlotte. She's a great performer and act.
The Miz versus Shane McMahon. This is where Miz gets his shine and gets the win.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
There's no ands, ifs, or buts there.
Nope.
Kofi versus Kevin Owens. Too early to take the belt off Kofi.
100% agree. It's way too early. Honestly, I'd really like this. I like to get through this thing with the New Day. I get keeping him kind of involved a little bit more just because Big E's out, and then he leaves Xavier hanging.
Right.
And you did turn Kevin by going after the New Day, but
A little early, by the way, in my opinion.
yes,
I would love to
I
have
think it was
seen
a panic move.
Yeah, I'd love to
But,
have seen Kevin do the New Day thing a couple more weeks,
Yes.
and then turn. But you could see it coming because he started to act aggravate, and then you go, "Oh, here it comes."
Yeah,
It's the same MO with the Festival of Friends.
yeah, and we're really at the end of the day, I'd like to see Kofi kind of moved away from just being a member of the New Day, which I feel like the way they've kind of booked him lately, he just seems to be like, it's still the New Day, and one of them, by the way, has the WWE Championship.
Right.
And I'd like him to be Kofi Kingston and his friends, the New Day.
Do you think Kofi should turn on them, or they should turn on Kofi? If you're breaking,
you move Big E and turn him on Kofi.
I think so too, because Big E deserves a championship
Oh,
run.
God, yeah. I think Big E is the true breakout star of the three, to be honest.
I agree.
I think he has the most potential to be the biggest star of the group.
I think Xavier has the potential to be a commentator manager kind of guy.
Absolutely. And he'd be a great commentator.
I think so too. I think he'd be even better manager.
Yeah.
They hardly ever use him in ring.
That was kind of, I think, if I remember right, that's the direction they were initially going in when they put the New Day together. It was Big E and Kofi going to be the team. And Xavier put them together in that kind of a preacher role as their manager at first.
Boy, that part was so long ago.
Yeah,
I don't even remember.
And they eventually, as they started to morph it, they put him into the group as a wrestler. I mean, because the reality is he's a young guy, he's athletic, and he's talented. He just doesn't have as many key components as the other two.
No,
That's all.
I absolutely agree. But he has the most charisma out of the other
He's
two.
phenomenal. Yeah, he's a great act, and that's where it almost pains me to say commentator, manager. You know, I think that's what you think. And I do like your idea of manager, because you can really elevate some people, and he's got
there's
that
no
ability.
managers anymore, really.
Yeah, very few, and they just lost one.
Yes.
He's a very talented guy, and I think he can play a big role in utilizing and helping some talent.
I hope that I would like to see Kofi turn heel and turn on them.
Interesting. I don't know how good he would do at it.
Here's the thing. I've been yelled at by internet fans of my thoughts of Kofi leading up to where we are today.
Yeah,
and I don't think I was wrong. He was rushed in that position, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I still feel like Kofi needs to do something now to elevate him up, because I think you take Kofi Mania and the live fans out of it, I think his run is mediocre right now at best. And it's no lack of building people up for him. He needs to do something epic to put a stamp on this run, and I think a heel turn would be it.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think there is something missing right now. I felt like they did a good job that last month or so before Mania in building him up, and they plateaued, and they put him, instead of carrying him on now as the champion to the next level, they just put him right back in the New Day where he was 2 months prior, but now he just got the belt on him. Where I'm a little curious and concerned is Bryan's in the tag match. Where does he go from here? Right. Where's Kofi go from here?
Well, when we come back for break, we'll go into that. Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio still talking about. Tony Nese, we still have to talk about. Daniel Bryan's tag team match. You're listening to Wrestling Perspective. Go to WrestlingPerspectivePodcast.com. Subscribe to the show. Go to What For Apparel. Buy a shirt. BlueChew.com. We're all happy. Do what you guys got to do. Ringside Wrestling app. Wrestling Perspective. We'll be right back. we're back. Wrestling Perspective. Russ McCall, Dennis Farrell. Russ, real quick, because this is going to be super quick and chaotic. Where can people find you?
At Russ B. McCall.
On Twitter.
On Twitter.
You can follow me at Dennis77Farrell. Go to WrestlingPerspectivePodcast.com. There's the podcast. You can listen from the website if you're at work and you can't download things. You can also email the show if you have any questions, comments. And I think we still even have a phone number there, so you can call it, leave a message, and maybe we'll play it if people ever do it.
Yeah.
That's how much I care about the people.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Yeah. Let's knock these last...
$1 million Dennis.
Thanks. I feel like after the conversations we've had about sitting by the pool at noon. All right, let's knock out these last 3 matches, then we'll promote, and then we'll send everybody to enjoy the rest of their weekend and get ready for Money in the Bank.
Let's do it.
All right. Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio.
Joe.
Absolutely. Yeah. By the way, does Rey Mysterio's kid, something looks weird about him. Like, I see the kid, and is this the one who's been training to wrestle?
Yeah.
Oh, God, he looks bad.
Yeah.
He looks bad. Like,
he hit that cardio, man.
Well, there's still a place for him in Impact.
Oh,
because he was.
Well, they let you go backstage.
Yeah. Well, he was just back. He did one backstage segment for Impact. Like,
did he really?
Several months ago. Yeah. He was just like a helping hand or something.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
And now he's on WWE TV.
Wow, it literally took everybody.
Except
PD.
Does the son turn on the dad? Do you see?
It seems natural that's what they're thinking that's what they're going to do.
Do you see?
I just don't know where you go with it from there.
Eddie was really my dad. Boom. You know, a callback to an. I would love that. A callback to an angle.
I think you have Joe as a destroyer, and he just lays them both out.
And I'm okay with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Tony Nese and versus Daivari.
Nese.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yep. Doesn't matter, but probably Nese. Just won
pre-show probably for the cruiserweight.
100%. That's where it goes.
I feel bad because I like Tony Nese.
Yeah,
he talked to me on Twitter the other day. Yeah, he took over the 205 Live account, and I was like, "Tell me what you think about PD Williams." And he put out this big long tweet about how he's helped him and amazing.
Yeah, I knew PD was a pretty big fan of his and good buddies with him. But yeah, Nese is a good wrestler, and he's from what I understand from Pete says, a good dude. But
sure,
it's pre-show.
All right, and finally, Daniel Bryan Rowan versus the Usos, who are Raw and SmackDown. I don't.
So obviously the tag champs are going to retain.
You have to. All right, Russ, we're against the wall. We got in this now because what a great conversation.
Yep.
Wrestling Perspective. Go to WrestlingPerspectivePodcast.com. Subscribe if you missed any of the show. We will be there with all of it commercial free. PD Williams and myself go there. We talk about AEW myths versus what we know. Wrestling Perspective. Have a good night, guys.